Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Super 7 Ultimates, the Wave 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We have Lord Zedd's throne and Lord Zedd. I wanted to pick these up because I'm getting closer and closer to finishing out the entire line. So just kind of slowly but surely making my way. I think the only ones I still need to pick up at this point are going to be like Wave 5. Which would be the Bulk and Skull, the Black and Gold Megazord, and the Glow-in-the-Dark Green Ranger. And then I need to get Finster. And I think for the most part, I'm almost pretty much caught up. I got Black and Blue Ranger from Big Bad Toy Store not long ago. Just in time for the metallic Rangers that are exclusive to Pulse. So we have these here. So Lord Zedd and Zedd's Throne, they are both available right now in stock at BigBadToyStore.com. Shout out and thank you to them for getting these out to me so I can review for you guys. And it's pretty cool. We get a throne for Zedd. This Lord Zedd in particular, the really cool thing about it is, and let me open that slipcover so you can see, this figure really reminds me of my childhood having the Lord Zedd figure. Like, it looks exactly like it, just a different scale. The 8-inch, I would think it was an 8-inch figure of Lord Zedd, looked very similar to this, but was a little bit thicker and bulkier. I like the way this looks a little bit more, and it looks really cool. So I'm excited to take a look at that. So let's go ahead and open all of this up, and let's take a look. Okay, so here we have Lord Zedd out of the package and on the throne, and this is so nice. I know there's a lot of feedback and criticisms when it comes to like Super 7 figures and everything. Having this Lord Zedd might be the best Power Rangers figure that they've done. But I don't want to go as far as to say that it's better than like the Megazord or the Dragonzord or the Tyrannosaurus Rex Dinozord, because the Zords are amazing. But this Lord Zedd figure is so good. I really like it. I love that you can get the throne and you can have him sitting on the throne. That's cool, but the figure just so much reminds me of the old school figure from when I was a kid. Like the pure nostalgia, like Super 7's built on nostalgia. That's what they're all about in their figures. And this one hits it for me. Just like the Metallic Rangers did, this Lord Zedd is like everything. I put it above any of the Rangers that they've done because this thing is just so nice. Oh my gosh. So good. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look. We'll take a look at the details of the throne. We'll take a closer look at the figure, and then all the accessories that he comes with. He comes with a bunch of hands, and I don't even know if all these hands are necessary, if I'm being honest. But we got those hands, and then we also got like an extra head sculpt. The one thing that's weird about this, it's almost the exact same. The red of the visor looks a little bit different. And I wonder if it glows in the dark. So I'm going to try and like charge it up and maybe it glows in the dark, but it's supposed to represent like when he's looking down on Earth and he has like, he has like the red light that comes out of this visor, sort of thing as he's like looking down on Earth. That's what this is supposed to represent. So again, I'm going to see if it's like a glow in the dark kind of thing, because I think it might be. Oh, okay, so maybe it's not glow in the dark. I thought so. It is a slightly different color though, but let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so looking at the throne's really nice. It's got this nice, like, rocky texture to it. It looks like there's a crack in there because, again, very rocky looking. So there's this, like, gray dry brushing or wash over the whole thing, which is nice. We get little red eyes on those, like, eagle, gargoyle type deals there. On the back, we get that Lord Zedd logo, that Z that's painted in a nice silver color. So there's the throne. Really nice. It's got some weight to it. It is hollow plastic in there, but it's got some decent weight to it, so that is really cool. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way, and let's take a closer look at Lord Zedd, because man, this thing is awesome. I absolutely love this figure. Gosh, I can't tell you how good this thing is. So nice. Let me get the staff out of his hand. Man, so good, so good. You got the tubing that actually comes out of the figure, which is cool. It's all over. It just looks really nice. Like the details of it. There's like this pinkish color, like wash over the whole thing, which is nice. Like the sculpted, like muscle definite, like it's just everything about this figure is so good. Looking at the back on his spine, the tubing. Oh, it's just so good. I'm telling you, it is just so nice. Like proportionately, like if you look at a guy that's in this big rubber suit, you kind of see it too. But more importantly, just having the figure from when I was a kid, this just reminds me exactly of it. I'm sure the proportions and everything's not going to be perfect, but this really brings me back to my childhood. Now, one thing I will mention is the hips do look a little bit weird. The reason for that is because you have to be able to get this figure to sit down in that throne so his legs can go out like that. So that's why, you know, there seems to be a little bit of gap in those hips, and that's so you know, to allow him to sit on the throne. But yeah, just really, 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 really good. But let's zoom in on the head sculpts. That way we could also take a look at the second head sculpt. Okay, so here is the other head sculpt. So I already swapped out the one. This is actually that brighter one there. And you could see that, you know, we get a darker red, and this is just a brighter red. To kind of show a glow effect, I think glow in the dark would have been cool. But, you know, as far as I could tell, it does not glow. I kind of charged it up with a light, and it didn't really do anything. The head sculpt was really hard to get onto the figure, though. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, it was on there really, really tight, and I don't even know if I got it down all the way. Let's see, putting this one back on. Oh, so much easier. I don't know what it is about that other one that just made it really tight. But there we go. Looking at the head sculpt, really nice. We get this silver on there. It's not too bright of a silver, which is good because, you know, it's kind of gives it a little worn down kind of look. I mean, it's shiny, right? I think it's just the right amount of shine. So it doesn't quite have a chrome look, but a nice silver look to it, which is really good. And then just looking at the tubing and everything, it doesn't really get in the way, even though it's there. The hands are really well detailed. And the way, so we have a bunch of hands. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 total sets of hands. So I've already swapped out some. So I got this grip, which has the vertical hinge for the staff, which is really nice that we got the right hinge for that. And then we also have the right grip. So if you wanted to hold the staff on the right hand, we have that. We have this right open one that holds like the growth bombs or whatever these are called. Like when he, you know, wants to make the monsters grow, he throws these bombs down to earth. We actually get 3 of these bombs, and they're all the same. I don't know why we needed 3, but we got 3 of them there. So he has that hand so he can hold it there in his right. In his left, I guess this would be kind of the same one. Can he hold it there? Not as nicely. Yeah, you can hold it. So we got the left hand to grip that as well. We get a left finger pointing hand there. We've got just, let's see, we have another set of grip hands with the horizontal hinge on there. Not sure why we really needed 2, but we have them there. We also get, because you get the left pointing finger, we have this right hand. It's just kind of an open hand there. And then we also have a pair of fists there. The other thing is he comes with this snake. Now, I don't remember the full details of it. I believe the snake turns into the staff, his Lord Zedd staff. The snake is painted well. It's just this rubber piece, but sculpt-wise, it looks pretty good. There, it's just got its tongue out. So that is cool. But the staff is really nice and thick. Nice silver color to it. It's a little pokey, too, so be careful there. But that looks good. There. So there we go for Lord Zedd. Now let's go ahead and check out his articulation. Okay, so Lord Zedd, he can look up a little bit, not a whole lot, but he can look down quite a bit, which is good. You get rotation in that head. There's not really any pivot going on there. The arm you can get to go straight on out like so. You can get a, well, you don't want to do a full rotation because you got the tubing in there. So not full rotation. Don't do the full rotation. You have an upper bicep swivel in there. Single jointed elbow gives you about 90 degree there. And then wrist swivel, and then most of them have the standard horizontal hinge, but you do get one set of grip hands that has the vertical hinge for that staff. We have a diaphragm cut on Lord Zedd, so he could tilt to his left that much, which is fantastic. He could tilt to his right that much, which is really good. Doesn't really go back a whole lot, and then coming forward is very little, as you can see there. But Lord Zedd, I mean, I don't really need him to do much other than look scary as hell. You also get a waist swivel in there. Legs go out. Let's see if I can rework those legs a little bit. You can, but you got to work the legs, and you can't get them that far apart. But again, you have to work them because these silver parts will hit up against that that hip piece. So just heads up on there. You can kick forward all the way because he's got to be able to sit down on that throne, of course. Leg doesn't actually go back. You have a little bit of a thigh swivel in there, so that is good. You can't twist it all the way around, but you get a good amount in there. Single jointed knee gives you that much bend there. Not a huge amount, but it's just enough where, you know, sitting pose, he can do that. And then you get ankle that hinges down a little bit. You get some hinge up. No real pivot going on in there because you got these pieces there on the sides, which would really get in the way anyway. And you have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So articulation where you need it for Lord Zedd, which is great. And I love the diaphragm. That diaphragm gets a lot of good tilt motion. Not forward or back, but the tilt is really good. Okay, and for some side-by-side comparisons, here we have Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa. Lord Zedd kind of takes over for Rita Repulsa, but then they're like, oh man, Lord Zedd's a little scary and stuff, so they had to really kind of soften him back. And then they fall in love, and they get married, and it's like this big old thing. As a kid, I'm like, okay, whatever. You go back as an adult, you're like, oh, what the hell happened to this guy? He was supposed to be all scary and menacing, and then he just got all weird and stuff. But it was this all plot with Rita Repulsa, but I think she ended up actually falling in love. I don't really know what it was. That Rita Repulsa, this is actually the first time me actually taking that figure out of the package. The Vile Violet version, I did review that, and that thing was awesome. So finally opened the regular release, and it is great. Like Super7, the Rangers are good. They're better in the box, but they're good. They don't have as much of the articulations as we could hope for, you know, but it's again kind of the nostalgia factor from when we were kids in '93. What the figures were able to do, it's kind of what the Super7 figures are. But like the monsters, the Zords, they have some really, really good ones. Rita Repulsa is one that, like, sleeper hit. Like, you wouldn't think, oh, it's just a Rita Repulsa figure. This thing came out fantastic. And then Lord Zedd, having him, he's even better. So just having the two of them is just awesome. And I love that, you know, we have these really cool figures. So I'm excited. I will eventually get the Bulk and Skull figures, and those look really freaking good. I will eventually get those, but for now, I got the Rita, I got the Lord Zedd in his throne now. I'm slowly making my way, completing the entire line. I'm getting there. I am getting there. Rita Repulsa also, by the way, is available in stock right now at BigBadToyStore.com. Okay, and kind of continuing the trend of figures that I'm opening for the first time, we got the King Sphinx. Again, another, like, I have a majority of the figures and just haven't opened them all. They've just been kind of sitting in the box, but, you know, finally I got an excuse to bring out King Sphinx, so there we go. And then kind of how the Rangers look, I'm not going to get out all of the Rangers, but here is the White Ranger next to Lord Zedd. I get his ankles right. And there we go. So you can see Lord Zedd is in fact bigger than the Rangers, as all the monsters basically are. So I think size-wise that actually works out really well. And because I don't know, and because I've never seen it or never done it, you can see the monsters are massive compared to the Rangers. So they're, you know, King Sphinx and the White Ranger. But, you know, get our Lord Zedd back in there. You could see that, like, size-wise, you know, he's in between the monsters and the Rangers, kind of where they should be, and I think that actually works out well. Okay, so pretty quick review of the Super7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Wave 3 Lord Zedd and Throne. These are available at BigBadToyStore.com. I think actually every Ultimates figure that's released is available on BigBadToyStore.com. So I have links in the video description below so you guys can check them out. A whole lot of fun factor with these Super7 figures. Yes, they don't have double jointed elbows. Yes, they don't have double jointed knees. But I think for these figures, it goes beyond. It goes beyond that. It isn't always about getting into these crazy poses and doing this amazing figure photography. Sometimes it's about going back to our childhood, having the nostalgia, just loving the characters and having plastic forms of you know, representing those characters that we love from our childhood, and everything like that. Plus, this Lord Zedd is actually just a really good figure on top of that too. So I really like it. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the Power Rangers. In general, I feel like the fan base, or, you know, the Power Rangers show, you know, since it's ended and everything, a lot of people are blaming Hasbro and all this and that. I just think, you know, the popularity of Power Rangers just isn't what it once was. And it's, you know, it's 30 plus years old show, of course. You know, particular Mighty Morphin, but all the different iterations, I just don't know that, you know, the show and the fan base has grown, you know, like with the kids nowadays and things like that. But, you know, I could be wrong on that. I know there's a lot of strong debate on that, especially on Twitter. But that's just kind of my thoughts. You know, typically, like, Power Rangers views, I don't get a lot. And that just goes to show me that there's less interest. Or maybe just me, because maybe I'm just not that great of a reviewer. But hey, if you think I am, subscribe, because I'm getting very close to 50,000. I would love to hit that by the end of the year. But anyway, give me your thoughts down in the comments below on this Super7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lord Zedd. I really like it. Link in the video description below if you're interested in picking it up. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.